Shouldn't you be training? Yeah, you. Caught red-handed in the crisps again. You said just a few, and that was 5 minutes and half a bag ago. There's nothing wrong with a little snack here and there, but you're kinda pushing your luck, aren't you? Fuel to perform, remember? Not snack like you're carb loading for a Netflix marathon. Now, what's it gonna be?
So, my diet recently, let's call it mostly fine with a side of avocado toast. Not terrible, but definitely not the kind of fuel that's going to set any records. I was kind of coasting, throwing together whatever I had around. Maybe some crackers or avocado toast. It's healthy, kinda. But when you think about it, it's just a slice of bread, some smashed avocado, and not much else. It's not like I'm gorging on fast food every day, but let's be real, I'm definitely not fueling like an athlete. I'm not off the rails, but I'm not exactly winning any nutrition awards either. A lot of beige food, quick bites, maybe a little too much bread. So I started thinking, what if I tried eating like someone who actually knows what they're doing? Someone like Rich Roll. Now I realize you might not know who Rich Roll is, so let me explain. Imagine hitting 40 years old, feeling sluggish, overweight, unfit, and knowing that something needs to change. Well, that was Rich Roll. And boy did he change. Rich Roll wasn't always the picture of health. A former lawyer and recovering addict, Rich hit rock bottom in his 30s, out of shape, out of energy, and trapped in old habits. But everything changed when he swapped ultra-processed foods for whole plants. What followed was a total transformation, losing over 50 pounds, becoming one of the world's fittest ultra-endurance athletes, best-selling author, and host of the Rich Roll podcast, a global platform inspiring millions to rethink what's possible. But what really stuck with me wasn't these amazing athletic challenges that he was doing, or how far he could run. It was the way he stripped food right back to what it's supposed to be. From the earth, not a lab. Real and simple. What if every bite you took was an opportunity to fuel, to recover, to perform better? Because the truth is, what you eat either helps you or holds you back. And it turns out, eating plants doesn't just make you a hippie, it might just make you faster. Forget diet hacks, forget macros. What if it's just about eating real food? So it turns out plants can actually power some serious performance. But what's it actually like to eat like Rich Roll for a day? Let's find out. Rich Roll doesn't just eat differently, he starts his day with intention. First thing, hydration, and a smoothie loaded with nutrients. A little bit of mineral salt to help the medicine go down. I'm adding a little bit of Celtic sea salt. It's probably going to make it taste worse, but it will give me electrolytes, minerals, and help me with the hydration, absorbing that water. Oh wow, I don't know what I expected, but that, oh, it's a subtle burn. Maybe I need more water. Okay. It is better actually, it does help. How do people do this every day? That's wild. Could I get used to that? I don't know if I could. It's like really bad cider, like sour cider. I'm doing my best to follow his diet. I couldn't find raw beetroot, but I did find cooked beetroot, so it'll do. Don't be a hater. That's actually not bad. Okay, that's pretty good. Most of us wake up chasing energy, coffee, sugar, something quick to fix the hunger so we can get on with things. But this is energy in its rawest form. Real food, real fuel. Considering the amount of vegetables and things in that really doesn't taste bad at all. You don't really taste the spinach. There's a subtle sweetness from the beetroot. The banana helps, obviously. That's quite nice. I'd probably do that again. All right, we're off to a good start. So I need to go training. And apparently on this ride, I'm taking something very weird. I don't know what to make of it. We'll see. Maybe it'll be nice. Maybe it'll surprise me. But I have my doubts. Rich has a handful of items that he takes when he's training. The first one, not candy, but dates. This is a more whole food form of sustainable energy, whereas candy will give you a blood sugar spike followed by a crash. It's less likely with a date because it's got all the micronutrients and the fiber packed in with it.
Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Both. Another being bananas. Now I don't know how well that would do in a back pocket. I feel like it would get crushed, but maybe it's okay. Another being almond butter. Now I know in the States they have these packets like gels that you can stick in your back pocket. That sounds ideal, but here we don't have that. So I'm not sure what the alternative is. I personally chose to chuck it in a blender with some cacao, some nuts, some seeds, and some dates to make those cacao balls. And wow, they taste good. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever eat chocolate again. I'm sorted. Another good trick he uses is putting coconut water in his water bottles. This way he gets more electrolytes, helping him stay hydrated. And the plot twist? Sweet potato. Cold sweet potato. Don't knock it till you try it, I guess, but I'm a little concerned about this one. I don't know how he does it, but for his longer rides, that's what he takes, which I understand from a nutritional point of view, but not quite what I'm looking for when I'm out on a ride. Oh, I forgot the sweet potato. Oh no, I forgot the sweet potato. Let's go riding. Honestly, gels taste pretty disgusting anyway. And these are some of my favorite foods, so I can get used to this. All I've got is this hemp protein powder. I hear it tastes pretty disgusting. It's 100% hemp, and I'm gonna throw that in there and see what happens. But I'm not sure it's in date. Recovery isn't just about replacing what you've lost. It's about preparing for what's next. Rich keeps it simple. Rehydrate and flood the body with the right nutrients. Not all protein is created equal, but we'll get to that another time. When we say whole food plant-based, we mean just that. Plants in their natural state, as they grow. If it's a mystery ingredient in a shiny packet, maybe steer clear. I mean, I understand what 100% nuts means, that's pretty straightforward. But what is something called ribonucleotides? And anatonorbixin? We probably shouldn't be eating something we can't pronounce, right? And also, if we can't imagine what it looks like, and I mean, yeah, I got no idea. So, it's a pretty good compass to know that I'm probably going to avoid that. And instead, choose things that are a little bit more simpler. At each meal, I aim for balance. Food that actually filled me up without leaving me needing a nap. It's not all about going gourmet, it's just about fueling well. Whole grains, legumes, fresh veg, packed with antioxidants and all the good stuff. It's simple and it's satisfying. One of the best things you can do when eating like this, meal prep. Cooking grains and legumes in bulk, chop your veg ahead of time, freeze a bit of every meal you make. It sounds basic, but when life gets hectic, and it always does, you'll be glad it's there. When real food is ready to go, you don't go hunting for quick fixes. One thing that surprised me, he doesn't eat as much as I expected. Not because he's restricting, but because the food he eats is so nutrient dense, his body doesn't need more. It's a different kind of full, not heavy, just fueled. A lot of us confuse volume with nourishment, but the body knows the difference. I realized I was cutting these way too big, so there you go. Now they're small. I'm gonna put some of this beautiful broccoli in there. No oil going in there. We got courgettes, mushrooms, tomato, red pepper, all the good stuff. Mixing all that up with some seasoning, put it in the oven, and then make a little bit of salad next to some quinoa. Yeah, a lot of this food is organic. It can be more nutrient dense, and yeah, it usually tastes better too. But if organic isn't an option for you, don't stress it. Focus on progress, not perfection. Look up the Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen. Clean 15 are the safest non-organic picks, lowest pesticide residue. The Dirty Dozen are the things that are worth buying organic if you can. Things like strawberries, spinach, apples. It's not all or nothing, just aim for better. Eating like an athlete isn't about eating less, it's about eating smart. Whole, simple meals that give your body what it actually needs. No counting macros, no trends, just food that works. I thought it would just be about eating cleaner, but it highlights to me that the more I eat like this, the less I want to go back to the processed, greasy foods, and the more I notice the difference. It's a real mindset shift, and I find it's actually a lifestyle change, not a diet. And once you know what it feels like to be properly fueled, you start to notice the differences. You kind of don't want to go back. When you fuel your car, if you put high quality fuel, the car's going to go better. The lower the quality fuel, the worse it's going to run. And you certainly don't want to put petrol in a diesel. It's definitely woken me up to this idea that I should eat lighter. So, especially in the mornings where originally I was eating like oats and oat groats, which is a great way to get lots of nutrition in, but it wasn't quite doing it for me because I was feeling very sluggish and slow afterwards. Having a light smoothie, super cool. I'm really appreciating that in the morning, so that's my go-to now. The fun thing is you can add lots of different things in there, you can change it up depending on what you have, what's available, what's good, what you're into, what you feel like eating. Another thing is I'm just eating a lot less gluten nowadays and I feel great. So that's really something that's working for me as an individual. But if you're getting whole grain sourdough, like let's be honest, that stuff's good and I'm not advocating for cutting it out because maybe it's really good for you. Whole grains, definitely good for you, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that gluten's this enemy for everyone. But on an individual basis, I personally am gonna experiment with less gluten in my life, which will probably help me avoid the bakeries because yes, gluten is my weakness. It's not always just one pastry. Sometimes it's 3. The less processed food I eat, the better. That's a well-established fact. But what I find is interesting is the less I eat that stuff, the less I crave it. Alongside all this, I have to say, it's not the last time I'll ever eat some sugary food or a packet of crisps. For me, the new philosophy that I'm trying to take forward is, does it equal to an experience? Something I'll look back on, or an opportunity to connect with someone, a friend. If I'm going for coffee or I'm in a new country, I'm probably gonna eat that food. Or maybe I'm in a really cool bakery and I'm out with my wife and we're just having a nice time. But the key factor for me, which is really going to make a difference, I think, is not bringing it into the house. Trying to find a balance between having fun and enjoying life and being healthy and having that life preferably as long as possible. So that's the compass I'm going to try and use to decide when or when not to eat those sort of unhealthier foods, and try and find a balance, some moderation in my life, and hopefully get fitter, healthier and better and more energy for it, and happier. So hopefully you took something away from this. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you just enjoyed laughing at me along the way. That's absolutely fine too. But preferably you'd like to subscribe, like, comment, interact. Let's talk about it. What did you learn? What do you think I'm wrong about? What works for you? I'm super curious. What should I try next? Let me know. Okay, that'll do. Bye. getting awkward now.